Veterans and families need to pay attention to this. Yesterday, The Guardian just dropped an exclusive because they received confirmation that the VA is collecting all sorts of data on their employees and anyone who works with the VA so that they can share it with the appropriate agencies. And I'm sure you can guess which agencies they're talking about. Now, what they're looking for is data on VA employees and contractors who were born outside the United States. Now, I know there's some MAGA idiots out there who'll be like, oh, I don't want immigrants taking care of veterans. Well, motherfucker, have you been to a hospital lately? Have you looked at who the doctors and nurses are? The entire healthcare industry, not just the VA, is filled with immigrants who are helping people. You know who employs a fuckload of immigrants? The Department of Defense. Tons of immigrants come to this country, and whether it's out of selfish motivations to get the GI Bill or because they just feel like a patriotic duty, they want to serve this country and they go fight in wars. And you know who they go and work for after they get out of the military? The federal government. 1/3 of federal employees are veterans. And that includes the VA, obviously. So right now, the Trump administration is hunting down immigrants who work in the VA, which includes a fuckload of medical staff, so that they can share it with the appropriate agencies. Now imagine you're a doctor or a nurse, and you were born here in the good old US of A, and you work at the Department of Veterans Affairs, and you've got a complexion like mine. Do you think that it would be in your interest, even if you're the beneficiary of all of that, to have a bunch of your colleagues worried that at best they're going to lose their jobs because of their immigration status? Or at worst, they'll be kidnapped in the middle of the night and deported? No, abso-fucking-lutely not. There are two things that the Trump administration is trying to accomplish here. One is to just make us live in a white ethno-state. And the second is to destroy and privatize the VA, destroy veterans' healthcare. Because when you put veterans into the private healthcare system, there's zero accountability as it relates to actually fixing problems that veterans have. Out in the private sector, there is no incentive to cure veterans or to heal veterans the way that there is at the Department of Veterans Affairs, where there's continuous records starting with the beginning of DOD service and the medical records that your pediatrician gave you when you were 17 or 18 when you enlisted through decades of care in a unified healthcare system. So between federal contractors who are benefiting from the detention of immigrants or the private healthcare industry, by collecting this data and giving it to the appropriate agencies, Donald Trump is just making his donors more rich. And as a result, veterans will have worse healthcare outcomes, veterans will die, veterans will have a lower quality of life, and thanks to a fucking draft dodger, this country will not fulfill its commitment to veterans.